1.
Hey,
It is Thursday
already.
and it's 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
We just finished with lunch. So it's time for another show. Oh, we got the crumbs off.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to have a crummy day.
Oh,
Ooh.
I
Hey,
thought I'm gonna have water.
you gonna have water? Go ahead. Have some water. I was the one that picked the subject for today
Yes, you
because
did.
I've
It's been a
honestly,
week for you.
I've had a tough couple of weeks. And all because a dear friend, Jimmy Buffett, passed away, and it was sudden, and yet it wasn't completely unexpected. He had been it finally they determined that it had been years of skin melanoma that
Well, it was
got-
sudden for his fans, but it
Yeah.
was not sudden for his family.
yeah, and he was, in my opinion, he was a larger than life personality. His music he did for the love of the people that he entertained. There's a lot of musicians that are out there that entertain for the love of playing and singing and their fans. There are others that it just frankly goes to their head.
Yeah.
And it's just all about the money. It never was, because over Jimmy Buffett's career, there were times, and it's been documented, that he would be in town to play a concert, say on a Saturday night, and he would arrive on Friday, and he'd connect with another fellow musician that he knew from town or something, and they'd say, grab your guitar, let's go down to a local bar and we'll just sit in with the band.
Mhm.
And throughout his career, he did this a lot. And I mean, to the benefit of those lucky people
Yes,
that just
absolutely.
happened to be sitting in the bar waiting to listen to the trio that was going to be playing that night, and all of a sudden out walks Mick Jagger and Jimmy Buffett, or people like Kenny Chesney and Jimmy Buffett had a wonderful friendship over the years, because a lot of people didn't really consider Jimmy Buffett to be a country singer, but basically he had a good country following.
Yeah, he did. Wonderful.
Because he was in a genre of his own. He was kind of between that island sound and country and some rock. He could do it all, and he did it for the sake of his fans. And Kenny Chesney, who is a huge country and western artist, also has a fondness for St. Croix, has a home down there. And if you ever follow his No Shoes Radio on Sirius XM, it's a phenomenal station, because it's a good mix of his music, island music, and interviews and talk with people.
Yeah, and he's hysterical.
Yeah, and it's not talk with reporters,
No.
as much as it is talk with his band
and his fans.
His roadies.
They interview his fans.
The people that come in to see him. But he is one of those people that he was very, very close to Jimmy Buffett. There were quite a few. I mean, even Jimmy Buffett collaborated with Willie Nelson. There were so many people, but I've been in a little bit of a funk, and I've been playing a lot of his music, and everybody's got their favorites. His more rock type stuff like Cheeseburger in Paradise and Margaritaville are classics. Son of a Sailor has always been a favorite of mine. Come Monday, and then A Pirate Turns 40 is Mother Ocean. That's a great song. And I mean, I just keep thinking of a lot of the things, and those 10 years that we spent in the Florida Keys were like magic, because the local stations always played a lot of the island type music and his music.
I secretly hoped that when we visited Key West, a few times that we did, that maybe we'd run into him, or maybe we'd hear him at a bar walking by.
And sometimes he was
but
there, and if he was there and he had a couple hours to kill, sometimes he would go down to Margaritaville and with his guitar or without his guitar, just to shake hands with people and to talk. He was a very approachable musician.
Well,
He
yeah.
loved being around his fans.
What's interesting though, that he started off in the Keys and in the Florida area, moved from the Keys to West Palm Beach, stayed there a little while, and which is really upscale Florida. And from there, he moved to the Northeast coast. I think
Yeah.
it was Connecticut. That really surprised me. And he was there for many, 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 many years, raising his family.
And
That surprised me.
and what is interesting is he was always just kind of a no nonsense kind of a guy. Never went to. He was a billionaire, not multi-millionaire, a billionaire.
But
Between, and because he was well managed, and he and his wife both took very careful stakes in making sure that everything was. But he opened up his Margaritaville restaurants. As I told you, and a lot of people don't know this, but he was a pretty good investor into Krispy Kreme donuts.
I had no idea.
Yeah, he owned several franchises for many, many years. But
He came from nothing.
Pascagoula is where he was
Yeah,
born
just
and
came
raised.
from nothing and really, really developed himself
And I think it's because he never forgot
where he
who
came
he
from.
was and where he came from that made him who he was. But beyond Jimmy Buffett, this has been a pretty sad year for musicians. We have seen some, which let's face it, folks. I don't want to be maudlin here. As these rock and rollers from the 60s and 70s and everything are aging, they're passing away. It's just that it seems like it's somebody put their foot on the accelerator, and we are only into September of 2023, and I wrote down a list of some of the people, the great names that we lost in music this year, and from younger ages like Sinead O'Connor, who just passed away at age 57, up to Harry Belafonte, who was 96, Tony Bennett, 97. What an incredible career he had. But other names like Tina Turner. I mean, Tina Turner, Gordon Lightfoot, one of my favorites. And David Crosby of Crosby, Stills and Nash. I followed his career start to end. Robbie Robertson of the band, the group, the band. Tim Bachman of Bachman Turner Overdrive. Otis Redding, one of the greatest blues artists ever. Burt Bacharach, who helped launch the careers of people like Dionne Warwick and so many with his songs. Jeff Beck, an incredible musician, and one that I know of, and most of you probably don't know who Sixto Rodriguez is. But Sixto Rodriguez, who is also known as Sugar Man, Sixto Rodriguez's career never really got off the ground that much in the United States, but he was huge in Europe. And he was to Europe what Bob Dylan really was here in the United States. And if you ever have a chance to listen to some of Sixto Rodriguez's music, interesting. But this list is, we're just two-thirds or three-fourths of the way into the.
Yeah, I wrote down a couple famous but not so famous. Do you remember? Does the name Gary Wright mean anything to you?
Sure.
Dreamweavers and Love Is Alive. Played for George Harrison a lot. But what I just thought, it was a two-fisted guy, like two songs. He came out with the greatest hits in 2017. I was shocked at that, with 12 other albums. I don't know any other songs.
Oh, he was like Eddie Money. Eddie Money, thought had a couple of hits, and the guy played the covers of a lot of different people, and also was a great musician in his own right.
But you didn't have down Bob Barker.
Bob Barker. Well, he wasn't a musician.
No, that's true. I guess I was thinking of anybody in the industry. There's so many. Ray Hildebrand. Does that name ring a bell? It didn't. I'd heard of him, but I.
No, Ray of what? Of who?
Paul and Paula.
Oh, he was Paul?
Yes.
About, hey, Paul, I want to marry you. Hey, Paula, I want to marry you too.
That's it. You got it.
I mean, that
anybody younger probably has no idea what we're talking about.
I can guarantee the folks that go back to my high school era, they all know who Paul and Paula was.
Yeah.
And all you young people that might be following the show are saying, huh?
Who the heck are you talking
about? But
yeah,
just like Chad and Jeremy and Gordon.
Yeah.
Peter and Gordon.
But you know, it can happen anytime. It's not just also the age. It just happens. I mean, they're dying in their 20s and 30s from who knows what.
I mean, you know,
drugs. It's also sickness and cancer.
Yeah. And I mean, people like many of those that we just named, it was maybe a medical condition that took their life early. You know, sometimes it's just heavy living that we did a show not too long ago about the 27 Club, those artists that passed away at the age of 27. Jim Morrison, Janis Joplin, Amy Winehouse,
that's what
all at that same age. But I mean, these are people, many of whom were in their 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Unfortunately, we're at that stage, at that season, when I remember thinking, when my parents were this age and they started losing some friends,
right?
And now we're there.
And I think, you know, that when the report came out that Jimmy Buffett was a year younger than me.
People younger than you are unfortunately dying.
Yeah,
passing away.
You know, and whenever you watch the music shows, they always have that segment of those that we lost this year, and you sit there just dumbfounded. And when those faces come on the screen, and you look at them, and you say, "Oh man, I remember him or her," and they were great artists. You
think of the good times, and you put on a song, and you smile and laugh and think where you were when you first heard it, and brings back lots of good memories.
Well, I got
a memory.
I got a memory.
Yeah, you do.
This is in honor and memory of our friend Jimmy Buffett, our parrot head, and kudos to our dear friend Barb Weingard, who is an artist in the Florida Keys at Robbie's Marina. You can go if you're ever down there and you stop at Robbie's Marina. Stop in and see Barbie. She is just wonderful, and she hand painted this parrot head hat for me many years ago, and it's a treasure. It is. And now it's even more meaningful. So, hey,
so we got lots of happy memories.
That's it. So yeah, you know, and you will embrace a lot of your favorites, and unfortunately, when they pass away, you'll have fond memories of them, and that's a good thing. And then go out and pull out that CD and play it. I did it. The day that I learned that Jimmy Buffett passed away, I put it on my computer and it played all day. It did over and over. Loved it. Played. I danced. So, to the son of a sailor, and all rest in peace, dear friend. And to all of you, come back and see us again next week. Not sure yet what we're going to talk about, but hope it'll be entertaining. It'll be good. Okay. See you then. Bye. Bye.